So today I'm going to be talking about what I feel is potentially the biggest scam in the used car market. And to demonstrate this scam, I've got two case studies. One of them is this Range Rover Sport here with no engine under the bonnet. It's also got a court letter attached to it, which I've just received this morning. And the other car that I've got as a little bit of a case study is a 2012 Audi A1. We'll put this letter here, we'll talk about that shortly. There's plenty of space to put it under that bonnet anyway. So this is a 67 plate, so what was it, 10 years old, Range Rover Sport autobiography. I bought this car from an auction about 6 months ago. It was actually, we've done a video on it on the channel. Lovely car. I paid, when I bought this car, £13,500 for it. It needed a bit of prep. I think in the end it owed me about £15,000 with all the prep done. And we sold it almost straight away for £20,000, so there was a £5,000 margin in it. Customer was really happy with the car. It lasted them for a period of time. Yeah, that period was 5 months. 5 months down the line, the customer travelled a total of 6,000 miles and the engine stopped, just stopped working. Couldn't crank it, couldn't start it, nothing was happening. It's called the RAC, they've recovered him from the side of the road. He's then called us to say, look, I'm not happy, I bought this car off you 5 months ago, it's just broke down, I'm not happy. I do have a warranty, so can we look at maybe claiming on the warranty? We're like, yeah, absolutely. So when he bought the car off us, he paid a little bit extra and got an extended warranty. They're a great company that we work with as well. The warranty's got a claim limit of £6,000. We've then collected the car, got it recovered to our local mechanics. They've diagnosed that it needs a new engine. It's literally the worst news that we could have expected, but it is a known problem with these engines. It's a 3-litre diesel. It's done 85,000 miles now. When the customer bought it, it's done 79,000 miles. And it's annoying, it happens. Luckily, we've got a warranty there. Now, we've managed to find an engine swapping service where you essentially take the car and the engine to this garage, and they pull the engine out and they put a refurbished engine under the bonnet. They fit it all for you, deliver the car back, jobs are good. And the quote to do that, ironically, is within that £6,000 budget. So we've found someone to fix it, we've found the problem, it's all good. We've got a warranty to cover the problem. And we told the customer, and the customer said, you know what?
I'm not claiming on my warranty.
Why not?
I don't really want to claim on my warranty, I want you to pay for it.
What's the point in us paying for it when you've got a warranty? That's why you bought a warranty. He said,
I don't want to claim on warranty, I want you guys to pay for it.
The issue here is consumer rights. This car is 10 years old, right? It is, like I said, now done 85,000 miles. If I asked the local garage, can you guarantee that this car ain't going to go wrong for the next 6 months? The answer from them will be no. They won't be able to guarantee this car won't go wrong for the next 6 months. If I asked Land Rover themselves, would you guarantee this car, this 10-year-old car that you built, won't go wrong in the next 6 months? They will say no. Us as a used car dealership, we are expected to guarantee our customers that a car won't go wrong in the next 6 months. And if it does, we will pay for it. That is consumer rights. That's what we're up against. It is tough, it is challenging. And when you're selling cars like this, I say that. We've never ever, and we sell a lot of Land Rover products, we've never ever had this happen. We're now in a situation where a customer has said, he don't want to claim on his warranty, he's not happy, he's done 6,000 miles, which is a valid point as well. I'm thinking, well, the car's been all right for 6,000 miles, so therefore, does that not prove to you that this car's all right? Anyway, consumer rights says if there's a major fault within 6 months, the dealer has to pay for it. So we're now in a position where we're faced with either repairing the car at a cost to us, or giving the customer a full refund, which I think is crazy. But that is the rules, that's the law. So obviously we're gonna go with it. So we've offered a full refund, but there is an industry standard of 45 pence per mile reduction of the mileage that you've travelled in the time that you've owned the car. So we've offered a total of £20,000 minus the 45 pence per mile, 6,000 miles, total of £2,700 reduction off of that refund. The customer has declined and said,
no, I want a full refund. I am not paying for the 6,000 miles that I've done either.
That then resulted into this, a court letter coming through the door. He basically said, I said, look, we can either give you a refund or minus the £2,700, or we can fix the car.
I don't want either one of them. I'm taking it to court.
No problem, that's fine, take it to court. We're now going to court, right? And I've been on the phone yesterday to our solicitors about a solution to this problem. We have a solution to the problem. The warranty will pay out, right? I've actually had a chat with our warranty company. I'm sort of, this is ridiculous. I've never had this in all my years of trading. We've been trading since 2011, so nearly 15 years. And I've never ever had this where a customer has refused to claim on their warranty. They're within their rights. I now know that, but I've never actually considered that a customer can refuse to claim on a warranty. You have problems in life, but then you have solutions. We've got a big problem. Forget about how big it is. We've got a problem and we have a solution to the problem. There's no need to go any further. The customer doesn't want to claim. We're saying to the warranty company, look, can we not claim on the customer's behalf? And the warranty company is saying, no, Calvin, it's not the contract isn't with you as a business. The contract is with the customer. And if the customer doesn't want to claim, there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Learning curve for me, that was. So, the court case. We're now in a position where we're going to court. And it is very, very frustrating. The customer is claiming for a full refund plus court fees, because there are now court fees. It is not considered a small claim because it's in excess of £10,000, so the court fees are higher than a small claim case, which is frustrating, but that's, again, how things work. He's also charging for stuff that he's spent on the car, like he's put a set of tyres on it, he's put some brakes on it, and he wants all of that money back. Total cost to the total amount for the claim is, I think, £23,000, right? So it's a hefty amount of money to be hit with today. The garage that we had the car with had actually begun doing the work, because they just assumed we've got the green light from the warranty company. They said, yeah, we'll pay out for it. So the garage have begun doing the work, pulled the engine out, and it was at that point when the customer said, no, I'm not claiming on my warranty, which is why the car is behind me here. We can't do anything with it until we've concluded this situation. We'll come back to this story shortly. Let's now talk about the Audi A1, because I've mentioned in this video that consumer rights, in my opinion, are one of the biggest scams. I don't want to use the word scam too heavily, because it ain't a scam, it's just a very big challenge as a used car dealer. And there'll be lots of used car dealers watching this right now, and you'll be like, you know what, Calv, I can relate to this, because we've constantly got customers holding a gun to our heads, and although you see £5,000 profit, and in this situation, in this case, it's very rare that you'd buy a £15,000 car and see a £5,000 margin out of it. In this case, I took the gamble. Go and watch the video, you will appreciate the gamble as well that I took. I took that gamble, and them gambles usually go the other way, but sometimes go in your favour. In this case, it did go in my favour, and I earned a nice £5,000 margin out of it. Every time I have a situation, whether it be in work, in life, wherever, in just a situation in general, I always ensure that I consider myself and the other side. It's really important to consider both sides. With this situation, I understand that from the customer's point of view, this is a horrible situation. He's bought a car, he's only had it 5 months. It's really important that when you comment on this video, yeah, defend the trade. Some people will be defending traders, some people will be defending consumers. This consumer has only had this car for 5 months and the engine has failed. It ain't even frustrating. It's a horrible situation. So I understand that the customer is annoyed. But should he be annoyed with the person he bought it from? That's the question. We have a lot of these situations where a customer will have an issue with a car and they will present anger to us as a dealer because they think, well, you shouldn't have sold us a car that has gone wrong within 6 months. So therefore, I'm angry with you. So we're in situations where we're receiving this bad energy from customers, but we haven't actually done anything intentionally wrong. But as I tell this story, I am conscious that my customer has bought a car and annoyingly, the engine has failed. The Audi A1 situation, let's talk about that. The reason why this story is perfectly fitting for this video is because it defends the consumer. I am all about consumers having peace of mind. I want a consumer to be able to go, not just in my dealership, every dealership across the country, and be able to buy a car with absolute peace of mind. The dealers are responsible for providing that consumer with that service, with that peace of mind. This example here is exactly what we do not want to see. It's horrific, and it's a story that no consumer should ever have to experience. So just quickly, before we get into the Audi A1 story, you're probably wondering, when I bought that Range Rover, was it all clear on Car Vertical? Every single car we sell, we give a Car Vertical check report with it. And every car we buy, of course, we do a car vertical check on them to make sure they're all clear. This car in particular, you can see the photos there. So you're looking for all green ticks. This car's got finance outstanding on it. That would have been with the customer. We'll talk about the outcome of that situation later in the video. Emissions flag there, just to say that it's a high emissions car. No previous damage, never been stolen before, and the mileage has got a green tick as well to say the mileage is all clear. And you can also see on this particular check, you can see previous images from when it was advertised back in 2020 at a Land Rover main dealer, listed Land Rover, see all the pictures of it there. So it's a good little track record to see the background history of your car. If you're buying a car, or if you've currently got a car, you want to find out a bit of background about it, you can do a check, use my code CCD to get 20% off. I'll show you an example. By the way, there's the mileage graph, all nice and consistent. Obviously what you want to see. Hasn't done many miles this year though, as you can see. You know the reason for that. But I'll show you an example of what you do not want to see when you do a car vertical check. And I am going to be speaking to my member of staff now about this Audi A1, and we'll be asking him if he done a check when he bought the Audi A1. One of my members of staff has got a £5,000 budget to buy himself a car to get to and from work here at Vinca every day. And he chose to buy an Audi A1 from a used car dealer, and he's gone and bought the car, took it for a test drive. It was all fine. On the test drive, I say all fine, he noticed a bearing noise, and he asked the trader in the car, by the way, this car had done 105,000 miles. It's a 12 plate car. I think it's very difficult from a car trader point of view to stand for that car. It's old, it's done a lot of miles, but if you as a car dealer want to put your name to that, then you know there's a lot that comes with that. This dealer has chose to do that. His response to my member of staff when buying that car was,
That bearing noise is normal. Audi A1s do that. It's not something you should be concerned about.
Look at this beauty. Absolutely perfect condition.
It was raised as an issue at the point of sale. My guy went ahead and bought the car and soon realised that this bearing noise wasn't a small problem, it was something big. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call him. It's going to sound better coming from his mouth. Yo. Audi A1, yeah?
Yeah, man.
So you've got a budget of £5,000, yeah? You're on the open market, you've gone on Auto Trader, I guess, to buy a car.
Yeah.
You found a car. You wasn't really specific about what car you wanted.
Just needed an A to B, yeah.
So you found this Audi A1. Where was it?
It was Banbury.
So let's talk about red flags, yeah? Because I know within this situation there are a lot of red flags from your point of view. Where did you meet the guy?
So basically I couldn't get to the dealership, so he met me at Tesco's.
And so you've had a look over the car there. And on the test drive, you mentioned to him that you felt like you was concerned about a problem, didn't you?
Yeah. So there was a noise coming from the engine, or in the engine bay, and I just asked him what that was, and he just told me that it was normal for that car.
This car is practically new. You won't regret it.
So you've gone ahead and bought the car. What was the total amount that you paid for it?
4,600 it was.
£4,600.
Yeah.
You've then come to work on Monday in that car, and you said to me, didn't you, that you think something...
There's a problem with it, yeah.
So then you took it to a garage, didn't you, to get it checked out?
Yeah, I took it for my MOT, asked him to check out the noise, and he said it sounds like it's coming from inside the gearbox.
So the car needs a new gearbox, basically. And did you go ahead and get a quote to see how much that would be?
Yeah, he gave me a rough quote of £1,100.
So your £4,800 car that you bought a couple of days ago now needs £1,100 spent on it. Did you then call the dealer that you bought it off?
Yeah, I didn't call him. I contacted him on his website just saying, like, there's a problem with it, told him what it was. And he said to bring it down on a Tuesday. So I went to the dealership where he said to bring it to, and they weren't there.
So you took it to his dealership that is addressed on his website?
Yeah.
On the Tuesday, because he asked you to, and you got there and he didn't exist.
Apparently they were there, but they moved 6 months ago and obviously didn't update that.
All right. So you're then in a position where, so have you tried to find out where they are?
Yeah, I tried to call the guy. They got 3 different numbers. I tried to call 3 or 4 times while I was there. No answer from any single one of them.
So you're now in a situation where you've bought a car, you've got an £1,100 bill, you bought from a dealer because you didn't want to buy privately, because you didn't want to take on the risks that come with buying a car privately. You've done a bank transfer, I guess, and bought the car from him in the Tesco's car park, which was a mistake, by the way, which you now have learned. The car's broken. You said to me, Cal, can you give me your opinion on it? I drove it and I thought, it is noisy, but I think it should be all right. Like, I don't think you need to jump at getting this done immediately. You then drove it home that weekend, and Monday you came in a different car, basically, because the car broke down over the weekend, didn't it?
Well, I drove the evening that you drove it on the way home from work. It just progressively got worse and worse, and by the time I was at home, you could just smell burnt clutch and everything.
So, but it's still drivable. But that problem is now worse. So you thought, hold on, let me not drive this car no more because
I don't want it to get worse.
So you're now using your dad's spare car. Luckily, you've got a spare car in the family.
Yeah.
And the car, where's the car now?
I sold it.
How much did you sell it for?
£2,800.
So you've sold the car for £2,000 less than you bought it for a week or so ago, because basically you can't get hold of the car dealer. Oh, we haven't told him that he's blocked your number.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure he's got my number as well. Yeah.
Because Amar is here. Amar, you tried contacting the guy, didn't you?
Yeah. Because apparently that same Audi A1 is on the website still. So I sent a message saying I'm interested in Audi A1, and then he sent a response saying, let me know when I can call you.
Really?
Yeah, to book an appointment or something like
So
that.
he's trying to sell that car to you even though he doesn't have it?
Yeah.
So you're now £2,000 out of pocket, and you're carless. Well, you've got this Citroen that you're running around in, and you're back to the drawing board, £2,000 with £2,000 less of a budget. What have you learned?
Not to rush when buying a car.
Also, making sure they've got a physical location. I think basic things like, we've done a company check on this company and they don't exist as a business, which if you'd have told me, I would have done checks for you. You'd done a car vertical check when you bought the car, didn't you?
Yeah, that was all green ticks.
So that was all green ticks. So from that point of view, you were satisfied with the car itself. Mechanically, you drove it and you felt satisfied apart from this noise. So you've done all the right things. The biggest issue really was not doing your research on the business that you bought the car from. I think that's definitely the biggest. If anyone watching this video now can learn something, it is exactly that. Who are the company? If you check out our company online, established October 2011, been trading for a long time, and we've been located here for a long time. We've got physical premises, we've got staff. You can see that this is a well-established business. In your case, that clearly weren't the same scenario, was it? It was the complete opposite. So annoyingly, we didn't have a car for you. That's what's really annoying. But we didn't have a car that you for whatever. I don't know. I'm guessing you did look at what we had at Binker, but it's a shame that we didn't have a car for you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So you're now on the hunt for a new car for a budget of £2,700. Yeah.
Yeah.
£2,800, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We're going to continue the conversation about the Range Rover court case.
Cool. Cheers.
All right, thanks, man. See you later.
See you later.
So you can see that story is the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Consumers should be protected. That consumer, a little bit of me feels a bit like he's gone on Auto Trader. These websites should maybe vet the car dealers that they're allowing to advertise cars in there. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. It's really difficult. I think having a limited company should be a bare minimum. Being VAT registered as well. Again, like how are you a car dealer and you're not VAT registered? Simple stuff like that. But that there is what no consumer should ever have to go through. He has lost £2,000. He's put his faith into that dealer. Admittedly, he shouldn't have done, meeting him in Tesco's car park, but at the same time, he's seen he's got an online presence, he's got a website, he's got a trading name, he's got a few cars listed, he spoke to him, come across well, he's put his faith into him as an honest, as an innocent consumer, and he's bought a car, and the car's broke down within a few days, it's got a major gearbox fault, and the guy's ignoring him. He's blocked him, he's ignoring his calls, and it turns out he's not a registered business. That there should never ever happen.
This one's a real bargain, see?
So you're seeing here why I've quite heavily used the word scam in this video. I think this situation, the customer is not trying to scam us, right? I don't think the word scam in this situation is fair. But the situation with my member of staff, that is a scam. That is without a doubt a scam. You've sold him a car. Doesn't forget about the amount of money. It's a large amount of money. Yeah, I was going to say for £4,800. Forget about the amount of money. Doesn't matter if it's £10, £100 or £5,000. You've sold someone a car broken. They've told you it's broken. They've told you that they're concerned that it's broken on the day of sale. you've lied to them, you've flogged them a car, and you've ignored them, you've blocked them, you're not answering their calls, you're not offering to fix the problem. You've basically offloaded your problem to them. This ain't a private sale. By the way, if you buy a car privately and someone sells you a car with a fault, like in this situation, had that have been a private sale, you've got no leg to stand on. You literally got no hope, right? That is the risk you take when you buy a used car privately. Admittedly, when you buy a used car privately, you will save money. The retail value, which is something we need to touch on with the Audi A1, by the way, the exact retail value of that car is the exact same price that my member of staff paid for that car. So he has paid full retail value for that car, therefore he should expect a full retail prepared car. When I say full retail prepared, I don't mean brand new, I mean it's going to be worn out, it's done 105,000 miles, it's going to have it might need tyres, it might need whatever, a few little bits, a bit of prep going to it, a bit of wear on the driver's seat, it's going to need maybe new wipers, whatever, a few little bits and bobs here and there, but the car should be of a reasonable standard. You've got to consider that every good car dealer, because every time we think of a scam or a bad car sale, we're quick to jump on the fact that it's a dodgy car dealer, right? I say we are, generally people are, okay? But you've got to understand that every good car dealer or every good businessman, they want two things to ensure longevity for their business anyway. Those two things are profit, because they're in business to earn money, and happy customers. Every time I sell a car to a customer, or at the end of every month, I want to achieve 100 happy customers and a healthy amount of profit. There is no benefit for me whatsoever to ever sell a car that, one, isn't going to earn me money, it's going to give me grief, and two, isn't going to make my customer happy. There's no incentive for me to do that whatsoever. I want happy customers and I want to make money. That is it. That's my motive. That's the reason why I do my business. I love cars, obviously, but the main two things for general business people is money and happy customers. And that's all we want. A lot of people watching this will probably think, Cal, why even buy a 10-year-old car that's done over 80,000 miles, or when we bought it, 79,000 miles? Why not buy cars that are 5 years old, 50,000 miles? That's the obvious thing to do, right? I think that's a really good question. What I would say to that question is I'll come back with a question. What do you think should happen with this car? But this car is now over 10 years old. It's done over 80,000 miles. What should happen with this car? Because in a lot of people's eyes, this is a dream car. £20,000 car, autobiography, Alcantara headline. For me personally, I drove this car when it came in. I love a Range Rover. I think they're amazing. I don't generally have many problems with them. I love the way they drive. I love what they offer, road presence. They tick all the boxes. What should happen with this car? I think that's a great question. Comment below. I think the motive for me doing this video is ultimately education. It's all about people understanding what they should expect when buying a used car, but also from a car dealer point of view, that if you're a car dealer that often has issues or has had issues over the years with selling used cars, and consumers are stamping their feet about certain things, then you expect it, and you understand also that everyone's going through that. I'll never change the law, I know that, but it does make this business so bloody challenging.
I was going to ask you, in the car industry, if you could implement one new rule, what would it be?
I think it would be to reassess consumer rights, and I think the consumer rights for me, they would taper off as a car gets older. Now, I do know a car in excess of 25 years old is considered a classic, and that doesn't have the same consumer rights as a 5-year-old car would. But that isn't a taper. That's there is an expected level of consumer rights all the way to 25 years, and at 25 years it stops. A car like this, just over 10 years old, done 85,000 miles, it's more likely to go wrong than a 25,000 mile 4-year-old car. So I feel like the consumer rights should almost taper off. The expectation should taper off. Because what it does is the consumers themselves, I just mentioned the word expectations there, their expectations are so high. And you've always got the option as a consumer to go and buy a new car. But understand that when you're buying a used car, you're choosing to buy a used car because you're trying to save money. You're compromising on the budget, so therefore you should be expecting to compromise on the quality of the car. Now, I am not saying that used cars are of poor quality. They're just more used. So, yeah, education, but also on the understanding that I really feel like consumers should be defended, they should be protected. So if I was to adjust consumer rights, answering Amar's question, I would absolutely ensure, like, I don't want this all the traders' way, no way. We've used two opposite examples here. There is a happy medium somewhere in the middle. The used car trade right now, it's more challenging than it's ever been. In the 15 years that I've been doing it, it has got harder. Bills have gone up, staff costs have gone up, rent, rates, advertising costs are particularly expensive. But all of this combined does make the car trade a very difficult trade to be in at times. I do love it though. Don't think I'm going anywhere, because I'm definitely not. I love the car trade. This is a very problem-focused video. Back to the Range Rover. We're now in a position where we're being taken to court, and I've asked our solicitors, because we have a legal team here, and they've prepared a defence statement for us, and we've gone back to the customer with two options. One of them is exactly how we started. We will offer to give you a full refund minus the £2,700 statutory mileage charge for the period for the amount of miles that you've driven in the period that you've owned that car, or we'll fix it. You can come pick it up. That is our stance on this situation. The court case is booked, and by the end of this video, we will either have a court case or we'll have a conclusion outside of court. That's the plan. So let's see. We've not yet concluded it. We will see what the customer chooses to do. Refund, broken engine, repair, court. And if we go to court, it'd be really interesting to see what the judges' view on this situation is. Now for the conclusion of both situations. I'm going to assume that the customer with the Range Rover seeked legal advice and realised that the statutory mileage charge had to be paid, and before it went to court decided they would accept a full refund for the car minus the £2,700 statutory mileage charge. He's now got his money back, and we've ordered a new engine for the Range Rover. And then my member of staff for the Audi A1, with his 2,000 odd quid that he had left over, he did manage to buy himself a cheap runaround that he's really happy with. And he did say he'd put a comment below with the dealer's details, asking for them to do the morally and legally correct thing and drop a couple of grand off to Binker. Whether they do that or not is entirely up to them, but I am a believer in karma.